Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the sort of full lineup of RoseCraft Blades traditional knives, and along with that I've got some very exclusive sneak peeks and first looks at the new cover materials that have been reordered. So let's jump straight into it. This is RoseCraft Blades new coin. It's going to be available from Blade Show in June. Make sure you check it out. It will be on their website, but it'll be dropping first at Blade Show. You can see you've got all the guys' signatures on the back here. RoseCraft Interlocking R&C RoseCraft Blades. All their traditional line of knives then will come in a box like this, sort of tan coloured box. RoseCraft Blades, their logo. You have the barcode and model number. For example, this one is for the Nolichucky Jack, which is RCT001. It will come wrapped in sort of wax paper, and inside this really nice foam cutout keeps the knife nice and secure. So let's jump straight into the knives. I'm going to start with order of model number rather than order of release date, sort of the easiest way for me to do it. And their first one then, which is RCT001, is the RoseCraft Little Bend Skinner, and this is in the white smooth bone. All the sort of build quality is going to be very much the same. We have stainless steel bolsters which are integral to the liners. You can see that there. Stainless steel back spring, and these are all in a D2 steel as well. The earlier ones, I will tell you when it sort of changes, but the shield has recently changed to stainless steel, but this is in nickel silver along with the pins holding this bone on. Brass lanyard tube, UK legal, really nice design. RCT001, the little RiverBend Skinner. See the older etch there, RCB, and the Armstrong's Maker's Mark D2 steel. Really comfortable work knife with that nice upswept handle. So this one then is no longer available in this white smooth bone. That has gone into the vault, but you can pick this up right now in the black micarta. So if you're after one of these, I would pick it up sooner rather than later, as they are going quickly. But unfortunately, you're going to have to look on the secondary market if you want a white smooth bone like this. I'll put that one up there to start. So that is RCT001, the little RiverBend Skinner. Next up, we have the Zambezi, and that is RCT002. Quite a small one, unusual design. One that sort of goes in and out of favour with me, depending on what sort of mood I'm feeling in. But we've got a close length of just over 3.5 inches. This wonderful smoky grey bone. You can see we have the stainless steel shield on this one, nickel silver pins, and again, the integral bolsters and liners. D2 steel on this. Nice long pull, swedge in, really nice sharp edge, and that huge oversized sharpening choil, which makes it one of the safest knives really of a slip joint to use. This would be a great work knife, box cutter, package opener, things like that. And even if it closed when you're holding it back here, there is no chance that blade's cutting you. Another UK legal one then, with a full blade length of just over 2.25, but the cutting edge is way down to 1.75. Now, this one has gone to the vault with the handle material, but the Zambezi is coming back, and that's going to be in blue micarta and rosewood. I will put a picture on the screen, so you should see that up there. And I'm excited to see both of those. I'm really looking forward to the rosewood. That's one of my favourite handle materials. So that's RCT002, and this is going to be in the next sort of less than a year. The new Zambezi handle materials are coming out. Don't have exact dates yet, but as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. Next up, we have RCT003, and this is the Appalachian Jack. And as far as I'm aware, this one isn't discontinued, but you need to get it while stocks last. There's no more handle materials currently in the works for this, but this is an old IXL pattern. You can see black micarta here, wonderfully polished. Stainless steel rosebud shield, integral liners and bolsters, as with all of these. And then we have the pry bar at the bottom. And this one, unfortunately, isn't UK legal. It does have a little bit of a too long of a blade. 1, 2, 3, 3.25, but the cutting edge is under the 3-inch limit. So depending on how you feel about carrying a larger knife in the UK, I'm more than happy to carry this, but I live in an area where there's not much sort of enforcement going on. So RCT003, the Appalachian Jack, older style tang stamp. See D2 steel, and Andy Armstrong's Maker's Mark. So another one of my favourite ones. I know John over at Thrifty Kniffy really likes this one, and I can really see why. If you had a sort of larger hands, and this is really a fantastic work knife, I will give a quick shout out to Scabs at Choir Boys Outdoors. He's currently doing a test series on this, and go and check it out. Next up, we have one of my favourite ones, and unfortunately one of the ones that's sort of in the vault with no sort of release date for any more handle materials, and it is the Holston River Surgeon's Knife. Their first two-bladed design. Nice UK legal knife, I believe. 3.75 inches close length. The main blade then being, where are we? Tip to tang. Oh no, I'm wrong. Just over the 3 inch, 3.1, and a cutting edge under 3. So again, same as the Appalachian Jack. However you decide to carry that. This is going to be more of a light use knife, though, being more like a doctor's knife, where the pull's quite weak on this, but that was designed to be as it should be really for a surgeon's knife. If you're doing surgery, especially back in the olden days, and you've got blood and stuff on your hands, you don't want a mega pull, but you'll never be able to open your knife. So that's great to see. And a little update that Andy did on this, to sort of do his own take, is a little Wharncliffe blade, and it's a wicked little blade on there. See the tang stamp on here again, the older style. Really nicely done, smooth black micarta. Integral liners, but as it's a two blade, you can see we do have one separate liner running through the middle. Of course, that is stainless steel. Bit more of a stronger pull than this Wharncliffe blade, so that'll be more of a sort of the harder use blade on this one, and that's the one I tend to use as the main blade when I carry this. So there's the Holston River Surgeon's Knife, black micarta, in the vault currently, so if you can find these available, grab them while you can. RCT004. Next up, this one won Import Knife of the Year at Blade Show last year. The one with the orange bourbon bone, or bourbon bone. This is, of course, the Smoky Grey. And we are looking at model number RCT005, and this having the GY to designate that it's the grey smoky bone. These are in stock on RoseCraft's website, so if you want to get one of these, well, you can. Both colours are actually on there. I will show you a picture of the orange one at the top of the screen here as well. But one of my favourite work knives, again with that elongated sharpening choil, it's really safe in the hand, especially if it closes. Again, there's enough of a gap that you're not going to be worried about that at all. Nice swedge in, wonderful smoky grey bone, integral bolsters and liners. I mean, look how well that's done. Lanyard tube I could give or take, but I mean it's a bit too small really for any sort of paracord I use, that's why I've not sort of used it. But great action, great pull, really sharp, slicey Wharncliffe blade on this. Like to nickname it the Grim Reaper, as it looks a bit like a scythe. So that is RCT005. Get that while you can, but I know they sell quick. Next up, this one won Knife of the Year last year for sort of the budget range. RCT006, and this is the Beaver Creek Barlow. This one, of course, being in the bourbon bone. We have that wonderful RC etch on the bolster. Integral liners, nickel silver pins, and then that D2 sort of sheep's foot, ram's foot blade. I'm going to say it's more of a ram's foot, but it's a little bit thinner back here than it is at the top here. Again, we have the older tang stamp on there, or the etch I should say, RCT006. And exciting news for this, on Monday, that is Monday the 20th of May, there's going to be a new drop of these in the smoky grey bone. This colour, I will put a picture on the screen for you guys to see. Make sure you're picking these up, and they do have the new tang stamp, which is an actual stamp. So these ones will no longer be available, and any actually that are coming back will all have the stamp rather than the etch. So make sure you're picking one of these up. I know I will be. Can't wait to get my hands on it, as this is one of my favourite knives to use. Really comfortable in the hand. Fantastic take as a modern traditional. Next up then, we have the French Broad Jack, and that is RCT007. Now this is in the red apple bone covers, and the handle material has gone in the vault, so the pattern is coming back. It's going to be coming back in rosewood and black sandalwood, so you'll see that picture on the screen as well. Black sandalwood, I'm going to say, looks fantastic. That's probably the one I'm going to go for, or I may sway towards the rosewood, as they both look fantastic. But this one then, nice sort of slender gentleman style knife, similar to sort of a toothpick handle, but slightly different. Got the shield on there, integral liners and bolsters, as I mentioned previously with all these knives. A really nice Wharncliffe blade. The full blade length on that then is pretty much bang on the 3-inch mark with a cutting edge of just over the 2.5, so a nice UK legal little gentleman's slip joint. Make sure you're picking these up when they come in because they go fast. I don't believe there's any of these left anywhere. I couldn't find any for sale in the UK at least. So if you guys can find some, let everyone else know. Of course, as I mentioned, coming back with the newer style tang stamps. Really looking forward to the wood in those, and that's going to be fantastic. Next up, we have the larger of the RiverBend skinners, and this is in the black micarta, wonderfully polished smooth, and this is a really large one. This is definitely not UK legal, but it's one that can do a definite day's work. This one then is in the vault as a pattern. This is not coming back for any time soon, so if you can get one, pick it up, because it's not going to be available with this tang stamp ever again, and it's going to be in the vault for I believe at least a year. So you've got the maker's mark on the back there, pretty much standard for all these knives. Really nice walk and torque. Got about a 6 pull, nice snap, and you can see the size of that. If I just put that on there so you can see the full size of this. So we have open length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches open. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 handle material. So 3.5 blade length on there. Really nice upswept, and these come screaming sharp as well. Really love the saber grind too, gives it a nice sort of style to the knife. Next up then, probably one of the most controversial ones, because aesthetically I'm not a big fan of the knife, but how it works and how you can use it, I'm a big fan of it. So I wish it looked how it was to use, if that makes sense. But again, the red apple bone is in the vault. There are new colour materials coming for this, and this is the RCT009. This is the Aoi River Jack. I do love the red bone though, so I really do hope Andy does bring it back on some different models, because it's fantastically done. Really nice walk and talk on this. It's definitely about a 7, 7.5. Nice half stop, nice UK legal work knife. So you've got a full blade length, not even 2.5, and then a cutting edge of just over the 2 inches. And this is going to be coming back in something quite special. We're going to have red and blue stabilized wood. So that's going to be some sort of resin mixed in with a stabilized wood, and that's going to look really cool. Pictures on the screen of that now, so make sure you're going to get these when this comes out. Even though I'm not a fan of this knife, I will be picking one of the new ones up. You've got to have the full collection. I mean, it's the law. Next up, RCT010, one of my all-time favourite RoseCraft designs. It's the Loosasnatchie Jack, and this one with the dragon scales. As you guys have probably imagined, dragon scales have gone into the vault, but little birdie told me that the new yellow and red sandalwood covers are literally days away. So the pictures at the top of the screen, they're on their way. They're very, very close to being here. So keep your eyes peeled. Really nice jackknife, nice UK legal with a fat sort of clip point blade on there. And of course they will have the new tang stamp over the edge. So really looking forward to getting my hands on one of these with the wood covers. It'll add that extra bit of grip, and you get the natural patina then on the wood. Really well made. One of my favourites. I know John at Thrifty Kniffy's a huge fan of this one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just over 6.5 on the full length. And then the blade length then is 2.75. So very UK legal, very world friendly, fantastic knife, excellent quality. And I mean, it comes fantastic. This is the sharpest one I've ever received, and they've all come screaming sharp. So that one was next level. Next up then, on to their newest release, which is the RCT011. That's the Nolichucky Jack, and that is in the vintage moss bone. It's currently out of stock, but there is more on the way. But look at the colour of that bone. Love this side. Really nice old IXL pattern. Jackknife, nice large handle with a sort of a swell at the end, and then a really nice fat spear point that can get you a day's work. And this is that tang stamp I was talking about that's coming back with all the knives. So the etch is gone. Here's your new tang stamp, RoseCraft, stamped in there very cleanly. I will say, wasn't a huge fan of this at the start, but it's really grown on me. Still get the etch on the back with the Andy Armstrong maker's mark, D2 steel and RCT011. Half stop, of course, and wonderful action. We're about 6.5 to a 7 pull on this. Again, this is one that gets a lot of use from me. You can see the blade is filthy. I've been using it today. So the Nolichucky Jack then on its way very soon. Stay tuned. Next up, another new release then for 24 is the Briarpatch Jack, and this is in the Smoky grey bone, and this is currently still available on RoseCraft and many other dealers around the world, so make sure you're checking that out. Wonderful smoky bone covers, another 2-layer, so this is their second take at doing a 2-layer, so you can see we do have a liner in the middle, stainless steel, and of course the bolsters and first liners here are obviously integral. Really nice different take on a clip point. It's that RoseCraft tang stamp again. For me, the thing that sold this knife for me though is the secondary blade. You get 2 full-sized blades, so we're looking at just over 3 inches, but the cutting edge is well under. That's a nice full-size clip. But for me, this lamb's foot blade really sells it for me. This is the one that made me want to get this knife. 3 inches, 2.75 cut in, nice wedge in, really wonderful, super slicey and sharp. Again, the tang stamp on both blades, which is really nice to see. And look at that for a work knife, really comfortable. The point of the clip point actually really does fit between my 2 middle fingers, and you don't really feel it that much. Can you feel it when using hard use? Yes, of course you can. But it's a 2-bladed knife, you're going to feel the blade at some point. But is it any point uncomfortable? No. So the Briarpatch Jack RCT002. Another one of my favourites, and it's mainly due to the size. It's so pocketable, being this sort of small compact design. It's about 3.5 inches closed, and this is the Cane Creek Jack RCT013, and this is in the stacked G10. So this is currently out of stock. I know Andy has got some of these more on order, but we're not entirely sure of what the handle materials are going to be yet. So as soon as I find out, as I mentioned previously, I'll let you guys know. But wonderful clip point on this, nice long sort of Turkish style, almost still a bit more belly than a Turkish style clip. RoseCraft tang stamp, and we have full blade length of 2.75 and a cutting edge of 2.4. And this is probably one of my most used one. You can see it's taken a bit of a beating. You can see the scratches all over the G10. It's been dropped many times, but it's a fantastic work knife for me. As I mentioned, it's just great for going to the office because it's so thin and slim. Just goes in a slip and you barely even know it's there. The Cane Creek Jack. So they are coming back, so keep an eye out. Next up then, this is my favourite one they've ever released. I love this thing. Savage Creek Gunstock, black micarta. We have the spades shield, stainless steel pins, integral liners and bolsters. Really nice clip point blade on this Gunstock pattern. Tang stamp there, and big news for this one. This is out of stock. It's coming back in the black micarta, but it's also coming back with genuine stag handles. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of a price increase, it being stag, but you're going to have to get the stag. You really need to get this knife. It's my favourite. It's my favourite release this year so far. It tops out the Nolichucky for me, mainly due to the size. It's much more friendly for my hand. But yeah, Savage Creek Gunstock RCT014. Make sure you're checking it out. I put a teaser picture on the screen for you guys there. Make sure you're picking that up. That's going to fly off the shelf. And then finally, one of their latest releases, RCT015. This is the Obed Creek Trapper in the blue-green micarta. Have a skull shield on there, and this one is still in stock on RoseCraft and a couple of other places around the country in the US and the UK. You get this sort of bow trapper design, which is an Andy Armstrong original design. The tang stamp, a really nice sort of clip drop point blade on there. Nice wedging, the maker's mark, and that really wonderful blue-green, which very similar to sort of my cutting mat here, but it's another one of those ones. Do I like the way it looks? Not my favourite, I'm willing to admit. Do I love the way it feels in my hand? Absolutely. It's so comfortable with that sort of recurve on the blade up here like this. Would I like it to be a little bit less? Yes, but then it wouldn't be the design. But it's a fantastic work knife. Slightly larger. I believe it's outside that UK legal limit. So yeah, just over the 3 inch, but the cutting edge is under. But what it's great for it is easy to pinch open. So if you're looking after a knife to open easily that's still got a stiff pull, this is definitely one for you. So there we go, guys. That is my sort of overview of the entire RoseCraft Blades traditional lineup. I hope you enjoyed the teasers and sneak peeks. I will put them again at the end of the video, but make sure you're checking them out. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.